taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. It is myself, Sir Pegasus, the host some PFL Euros action. Really excited for the games that we are waiting to get underway today. We're going to have 3 series chock full of action, but instead of me saying it, why don't we have a look? Those are some of those tables we're working with for the group stages so far, but we're going to start with Finland versus Germany. That's going to be that Group B. Remember, the top 2 will qualify for that playoff stage, so getting yourself a victory in this matchup is going to be paramount. Afterwards, we are going to have Spain versus France in a first versus second matchup, and then Poland versus Portugal. But let's focus on that first game at hand. Our 8 o'clock kickoff match, Finland versus Germany. We'll get up those groups yet again. This time we're going to be focusing on that Group B. It's been rather mixed form, let's just say, from Germany, although all is positive and undefeated. 2 draws being those last results could cause them a little bit of issues later down the line if those were to sustain. But still, 2 wins to get themselves off started leaves them with a confident 8 points. Finland, on the other hand, 2 matches, 2 wins, looking to better the record of Germany so far if they can come out with the 3 points in this third game that they will play today. Would even manage to put themselves up into that first place spot with a game in hand in comparison to Germany and Ireland. So a lot really riding actually on this first matchup, especially for Finland that have that little bit of an undecided factor amongst them, with them having significantly less games than anyone else in that group. As for Northern Ireland, however, they've been a little bit of a punching bag here. 6 games, all 6 of which being losses. And I do just want to count the amount of wins so far. We've had 6 wins from teams so far in Group B, which makes me think here there actually has not been a win for any team yet in this group that hasn't been with Northern Ireland as those victims. That is unfortunate. I believe that already could put them out of contention to make these playoff stages. So definitely not what you wanted to see here for Northern Ireland. This is very much a 3-horse race in between Germany, Ireland and Finland. And, well, it looks like those Northern Irish derbies didn't go all too well either. But if we're going to look at the other matches that could potentially be played today as well, Spain versus France, like I said before, it's that first versus second matchup. Both of them invincible so far. That might remain, but certainly the winning streak for one of these teams guaranteed to come to an end. That's going to hit our screens at, I believe it's scheduled for 8:30, 8:35. What have we been given? 8:20. So expecting these games to actually go through quite quickly. If we do run behind schedule, we would still see every single matchup on screen here. And I do believe both these teams are sitting in a lobby waiting just for those final players to come together so that this match may begin. I can just check that right now, see what's going on these 2 screens. I've got one open for Finland, and they certainly have 11 players. And I do not believe the same can be said about those over at Germany. So Germany are the ones that we're going to be waiting for to get this 11 versus 11 going underway. We'd ideally want every single player. Isn't that right, chat? But it is an absolute pleasure to be on your screens yet again. I had my first ever EAFC cast over here. So thank you very much, you guys, for having me and for asking me to return as well. It's an absolute pleasure. But we've spoken about these teams for long enough. Let's actually get some names for us to settle with. Formations. I don't think there's going to be any real surprises here. Finland versus Germany is going to be some free backs from both these teams. 3-1-4-2. Definitely looking like that standard that we seem to see every single team have. That's going to be Modovic in net with Oron, Mr. Salko and Olenek taking up that defense. Ibe Dubux, Zupers, Igor Apina and R2 holding down the midfield, and Anzinho and Jerkosh being those 2 men up top. The big boys that will be looking to have those balls go over top. Some of those crosses coming in. I'm sure they'll have a bit of that aerial plus as well. Maybe low driven. I've heard that has been a favourite for some people. I'm not 100% sure where that stands in pro clubs at the moment. However, for Germany, I'm seeing something a little bit different here. A 3-4-2-1. I must say, I haven't seen that been copped by a team in quite some time, but I'm a big fan of it. Bereshak's being your goalkeeper, Mark, Jay, and Suso holding down that defense, and now the catalysts in the midfield. It's Dreschk, Luke, and the very best, alongside, Ipan as well, to hold down those midfield lines. But where it starts to get a little bit interesting is that left centre forward and that right centre forward. I believe we don't have LFs and RFs anymore. And if they do stick with the team that they have signed up to say they will have, that's going to be Ari Gold and Junior Neymar taking those higher, tighter wings. A bit of an inside forward role, I guess you could say here. And D the G being that lone striker to try and get the job done. However, tuning into their streams, it looks like they might be using a formation different to the one they have actually registered with. At the moment, they're lining up with a 3-1-4-2. Similar to their opponents, as you expect with these pro clubs at the highest level. The 3-1-4-2, kind of going undefeated. That lone pivot with plenty of options there for those extra 2 centimetres to sit that a bit higher, act as that double pivot. You're going to see a lot of rotations on the ball there, but there's a reason why a 3-5-2 is picked. Lots of options there for those wider midfielders to be a bit more defensive or to be a bit more higher up. You can play a bit asymmetrical if you would like. If you want to have a bit more of a defensive winger and a bit more of an offensive winger, or you can have straight up end-to-end, box-to-box, wing-to-wing midfielders, which are really exciting to watch. It allows the defense to be that little bit more narrow once some transition has passed. Otherwise, they will have to cover those wider areas in the transition. And, you know, on the higher up as well, you tend to see them hug those bylines a little bit, try to play it inside to those usually aerial plus dominant attackers as well. I'm not sure, actually, if PFL has a rule on height restrictions and stuff like that. I know that a lot of these pro clubs have to do so because some of those taller builds can be fairly powerful. Let's just say, to put it loosely. But I feel like our wait is going to be over shortly. I do see that players are ready to get underway. Let's see. Will they bless me with some game audio? I think we might get a little bit. We'll have a look, ladies and gentlemen. The match is going to be waiting to begin. We are going to be looking from a Finnish standpoint here. We're going to be going off one of those perspectives. So you can tell me how good that will look. We're going to give game audio as well, because I prefer to have game audio if it is possible. There you go. Unmuted, and if we decide against it later, if it's a little bit too loud, we can easily turn off the game audio and throw the music back on. And apparently the black screen is going to be a game bug for one of these teams. So actually, as excited as we were, we are not going to have any gameplay quite yet. I have just seen that. That person has had to relog, so there is going to be a little bit of a delay heading into this first game. I mean, typical EAFC, am I right? Some things just never change, ladies and gentlemen. Even when I was back playing this game, that was always an issue that did persist. And there was something as well about pro clubs. You would see glitches that existed in pro clubs that simply didn't in Ultimate Team, and that used to always get me a little bit suspicious, it must be said. But we'll get that music back up and running now whilst we wait for everyone to relog here. At least we know that all 22 players are at least available to get this next game going underway. But I'm actually going to watch the Germany stream for a bit to see if we will see the more unusual, the more unorthodox 3-4-2-1, or if they are going to be rocking a 3-1-4-2, like every single team tends to do during pro clubs, exactly like Finland are using right now. And if it does end up being a mirror matchup, it's going to be very man-to-man. That's why typically in traditional football, you see they love a 3-4-3, they love a 3-5-2. It's because you can play a bit more man-to-man. The way that you've got to play is pretty obvious, I would say, in those kinds of positions. It's why with those quick camps, they do trust that the players can do it, whereas you've got, you know, your much more creative options with your 4-2-3-1 or the likes in more club football standings, where those very much have dominated for quite some time, unless some teams have their own mixes. We saw the box midfield as well for Man City's side for quite some time, which I can assure you, you're not going to see as much in national football like you will do in clubs. And well, this actually is going to be some national football. This is the Euros. This is representing your country. So it feels a lot more real life adjacent, I guess you could say here, to have some free backs or 5 backs, some would argue, actually, with those wider midfielders as well, dropping back deep, playing that factor. Very realistic right now. But we are getting the players back in the lobby rather swiftly, it must be said, which is what you'll have to see here. I've seen that Germany have already gotten all 11 players in and have sent out an invite. So match 1 will be underway very, very, very soon. And hopefully, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, that we do not get another one of those black screens. We wouldn't want it like this. We want the action straight out the gates. We don't want any more waiting. It feels like that actually this first game might start at the same time as our second game was supposed to start. And that would be a little bit unfortunate, but ultimately, that'd be okay. If the schedule gets run back a little bit, we'll see what the PFL admins will decide if that is the case, whether we will still get 3 matches of action or if we'll allow 2 to play at the same time, because of course getting 22 players together, I mean, this is something I am going to give credit to the Pro Clubs team for. As a primarily Rocket League caster, which is usually 3v3, although there is a fair bit of 1v1 as well, that's just 6 players you have to organise, right? There's 11 players for one team in AFC, so it must be significantly easier to schedule. No. Even the 1v1s, it's so hard to get 2 players in the same lobby ready to play. So I must say, the fact that you can have 22 players coordinated together to play a match of 11v11 clubs is astounding to me. Fair play. That is professionalism from the players to have that be a factor of their scene. But I am seeing here that we are going to have players back in lobbies very, 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 very soon, guys. We've got them building up. We are going to have some people to watch. We are going to have some gameplay. We are going to have some of these 11 clubs, some international action, which you guys have had a taste for. But who wants just a taster? That was the appetizer. Okay, we're getting to the main course now. The main meat, where you're going to start looking at those tables. They're going to start to form themselves. Every single match feels that extra bit more crucial. And well, we do have our first... No. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. We better not be stuck on this screen. Not again. Pray in chat. Pray in chat. Not like this. Not 2 in a row. 1 was enough. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, due to some of these delays coming from these black screens, we are going to go to a BRB screen. We'll let you know what happens right afterwards, but I can assure you there will be some Pro Clubs action tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Maybe I'm weak, but it took half a year to get over you, over you. Or maybe I'm good at pretending that I moved on. I know that we got a lot of the same friends, and soon enough there come a weekend when we just not bring it up. Yeah, maybe I'm weak, but it's taking too long to get over you. I'm not ready to meet you again, unless this time we're holding on. The truth is I don't know how to forget. So when I saw you coming, I knew I'd be swept right back up, and I didn't care. Been hiding from the truth, but it got me nowhere. 'Cause I'm not ready to meet you again, but I need you again. I'll be so glad, and I didn't care. Been hiding from the truth, but it got me nowhere. 'Cause I'm not ready to meet you again. Funny how something can hurt you so bad, but you fall right back. Happens just like that. And I'm not quite convinced that it won't end the same this time. Tell me, can people really get a fresh start? Should I be more careful with my heart? I'm treading carefully. Crazy how something can scar you so deep, but you fall right back. I'm not ready to meet you again, unless this time we're holding on. The truth is I don't know how to forget. So when I saw you coming, I knew I'd be swept right back up, and I didn't care. Been hiding from the truth, but it got what you feel. Oh, they try to push on my deal. Take your time to complete. Oh, they want a rock star. I get beat and run far. You buy to let me wait here. I'm impatient, but I take it. I know you know that I won't be far. Let me fix your scars. Just one call. Oh my God, girl, I'd be down if you were that. Anything had a way of sight. You want that, baby? I can read your mind. Let me to give it a try. You want that, baby? I'm destined for life. You want me to stare into your eyes while I'm putting my doings on your thighs. Let me to have you at a night. You want that, baby? I'm destined for life. You cannot tell me that you're innocent. While all your clothes are falling off right now. Oh, girl, your body tastes of cinnamon. Now you want me to turn you upside down. Baby, I finally know what it really feels like. Wow. Tell me you want it just as much as me, baby. I won't be far. Let me fix your scars. Just one call. Oh my God, girl, I'd be down if you were that. Anything had a way of sight. You want that, baby? I can read your mind. Let me to give it a try. You want that, baby? I'm destined for life. You want me to stare into your eyes while I'm putting my doings on your thighs. Let me to have you at a night. You want that, baby? I'm destined for life. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air.
And it is a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a kickoff in Spain versus France. Unfortunately, due to all of those black screens, Finland and Germany could not go underway. But we've got a match to stream, ladies and gentlemen. 3-1-4-2 versus 3-5-2. 3-1-4-2 being in the favour of Spain. 3-5-2 being France. In the nets is Wakabayashi and Law 7. Defenses are Butra, Bestial, Lycano versus Atsu, Escrova and Bronx. But we're seeing some action forward here from France. It's a little bit of washing machine football in the box to get us started, which gives me plenty of time to run through the rest of the rosters. Zaco de Papas, Alvaro, Jusel, Panzer and Adratude being the midfield line for Spain. Midfielders being Warren, NXYIR, Tico Beast, Capone and Swansea for France. And then your dynamic duos up top for either side. Soma and Alejandro for Spain, and Polgish and Sentinel for France. Woo! Let's watch some FC 24. Sorry, 25, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, you can tell I've been out of the game for quite some time. Like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Still very much enjoying the game. Spain looking to get us started with a cut inside pass, which does sneak through the hands of the goalkeeper. It's an unfortunate way to concede your first, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Spain off to a glaring start. Not even Morata could miss from that kind of angle. Completely open to take the first one home here for Spain. Now, this is going to be quite the matchup, not only for pro clubs, but also in the real world as well. France and Spain looking like some of the toughest two national teams, and that has remained the same in pro clubs. In Group A, this is going to be your current seed 1 and seed 2. Spain on 12 points, France on 9, but with still a game to play. It's all been wins. One team looking to lose their winning streak. Invincible's vote could be retained if this one ends in a draw, but Spain got themselves off to a great start. That header vote to the back post won't sneak its way through the second, but it's all been Spain in the first 15 minutes. Travella pass inside will catch a defender. And France live a few extra seconds longer if they're not going to have the offensive pressure. They're going to certainly need these counter-attacks to fall favour to them. Those midfield Sambas, however, easily stopped there by the Spanish midfielder. That one doesn't go down. A foul throw in there, favouring the Spanish. A lot of work looking to be done if they want to get that one forward. Throw-ins not as easy as they may seem there, especially when your opponents all have aerial plus there for the pivots and the defenders as well. Put the ball above chest height at your very own risk. And it is Alvaro to Zeko to try and take some space here on the wing. Goes for the beat on the first man. Finds some space for that second as well. Slowly looks to try and work this play inside. I like the use of a switch every time. Just looking for that extra bit of space. And if it's not there, they're looking to create it. It's been fantastic dribble so far. Catching the ball in tight. Going for a lot of these finesse dribbles. Oh, this is excellent to cut in. Green timed as well. Would have been beautiful to top it off, I would say. Felt a little bit greedy in that instance. What could have been an amazing assist ended up being a failed masterclass shot. Still, though, it's a warning to the French defence for those individual efforts. Are going to have to be something to look out for coming from those left wings. And Spain, all of them so far actually have shown a bit of that flutter in their step. The France defence and the midfield as well can't come into these tackles too heavy, because they've been so good at using the momentum of the players against them. You have to play weirdly a little bit patient with them, but patience is where Spain have really come out on top so far again when it's come to that midfield space. Just looking for those little openings in fill. They're not just knocking the ball into the box. Maybe that's how they started for the first 10 minutes, but once they got that first goal, they know they don't have to take too many extra risks. Rojas to the byline. It's how they scored the first. It was almost how they scored the second. And again, the goalkeeper looking a little bit lost in that position. It required the centre-half to get that clearance out. And he's going to really have to watch himself. He's going to have to make better decisions on his own line when those insiders are coming. There are a few laws of goalkeeping, and well, Law himself is really going to have to listen to them. Communication has to be better, especially with that front post defender. Let him cover that space instead. Cover the infield option instead. And you'll prevent a lot of these double-ups, and you'll prevent these chances as well of the ball just ping-ponging between your own defenders, because it's such a frustrating way to concede. And you've not only got to look after your gameplay, got to look after your space, your wings, your 6-yard box. You've got to look after that mental as well. You've got plenty of teammates in 11v11. Whether that means you've got lots of people to pick you up if things go wrong, or if you've got many to pass the blame on to you. Very much depends on the mentals, not only of the team, but of the individual. You've got to be strong-hearted. Well, we do see France here forming their first real attack. Blocked there for the last opportunity. Striker duership looking to weave their way across. I liked what we were seeing there from the right wings. But it's all about getting that final killer instinct. And I must say, with a lot of these pro clubs games that I've covered so far, oh, that was not a good attempted pass. One goal, when it comes early, tends to not be enough. You're almost guaranteed that a second goal will come across. So it's going to be up to Spain to make sure that that second goal will be theirs. Because I just feel like a 1-0 score sheet, you do not see it often. And well, if Spain are able to hold on to it, fair play. But they're looking for more. They found space just shy of that second half. A through ball across. And a shot across the net as well. Alejandro doubles the lead for Spain. Forces his way through 2 out of 3 defenders. And that goalkeeper was simply not going to be enough to prevent. It's a dream start here for Spain. And just as you were calling for that second goal and saying that 1 is rarely enough, Spain provide, and France have left way too many questions unanswered after that first game. Not enough action in the final third. Passed around in rondos in their very own. Something needs to click. Otherwise, not only are they going to find their first non-win in the Euro group stage, they might even find their first loss. Half-time coming to an end. The match ready to reprise, as it will say there on your screen. We are watching from a French perspective. And I don't think they're going to be feeling the best right now. Alejandro was that thorn in their side, getting that second goal. Just shy of the break. Conversations have to have happened between the players of France. That captain's going to have to step up and get everyone else back locked in. Nice catch here from the goalkeeper. And he's got time that he can waste. He will look to waste as much as possible. Look to play this one out wide. The aerial plus defender for France will allow them to keep the possession. We've seen them actually having the quick start so far in the first 5 in-game minutes. Nice and patient there. Coming from that initial player, Capone finds Polgish. Okay, no stop, but Capone again. So much impact in field, that ping pass as well, being put to full use. But ultimately, those that were receiving couldn't break that last line. Great action, though, in the hole from Capone. Someone to look out for in that build-up place. Something for Spain to look out for. They haven't really had much practice in their own defensive third. They've been very front-footed. And we're yet to see the full strength of it. That roulette's certainly not going to be enough to find that final bit of space from France. They've been able to beat all lines except the last. Travella all the way forward, but surely the Frenchman will block that header, however. Does give up possession. That does that heavy touch. Roulettes again in retaliation. Finding actually even success. There's space there on the wings for Tico Beast to look for. Polgish wasn't that man I was looking for, but still will get that job done. And isn't going to break through Panzer. Living up to the name, he's an absolute tank. Wyvern to Sensi, doesn't go through. And again, cool, calm, collective from the Spanish defense. Flicking that right stick to try and pop that ball over. Maybe they pressed it in. Ultimately surviving, keeping their sheets clean. Maybe even looking for a third goal as well. Sima with some through ball options. Decides to cut inside instead. Wants that central space shut down by France. And this will go out for a throw-in. This definitely hasn't been Spain's half like we saw in the first. In fact, I'd be inclined to say that France have been dominant in this second half. It's just lacked that final end product. And I thought that ball there, it's going to be exactly what the doctor ordered. But the final defense has been immense here from Spain. Fair play to Butra, Bestial, and Kano. If the midfield fails as the pivot fails, well, you certainly rarely do. I'm yet to really think of a big scoring opportunity from France. They've at least had all the build-up. But maybe a chance like this. One player waiting tight. You're not seeing many runs in behind. They're just looking to try and get a lot of these short balls. And what I find is they end up really bunched up just outside that box. No real options to whip through to. There's a little bit of a lack of ambition as well from those wingers to get a bit closer to that byline to try and take their man. It's very conservative with their attacks. And I feel like that really has favoured Spain, who are just happy to shut down all of those passing lanes, knowing that not really any dribbles are getting attempted across them. That's a good pass back. He's got a little bit of space in front. Trevella's always strong, but Law able to stop this one across. Polgish blocked again. It is going to be Alvaro, like I said, one of those defenders who has been so strong for Spain today. He's been playing more of that pivot for the midfield. I'd actually say a bit more box to box. He's been everywhere today. Whether it was threading those balls through up top in the first half or trying to prevent a lot of the action here for France. You can see all the passing stats up top. France having more passes. Lower accuracy and certainly less that feel progressive as well. It's that conversation of quality over quantity. France starting to have the quantity, but just lacking in that other regard. Polgish. Pinged pass. Looking to try and play that 1-2, but again, it's aggressive from Spain. They really buy their moments, whereas for the rest of the play, they'll sit back. You can see them kind of sitting with a 5-man deep with a second line off free. So tough to break through. Try as you like. Just try and throw a chipped ball in. So many red shirts to be able to stop, but somehow a Frenchman able to clamber his way forward. And well, that was one of the best shooting opportunities of France for the entire game. And I say that like we're just looking for one. We need two, and time is running out. We're approaching that 84th minute, but that's really well played. It's offside! Headers, play styles, all put to their best strengths. And it was not enough. So many defenders. And somehow the France attacker, far above every single one of them. The only shot of France to find the back of the net. And it will not count. That could be the blunder. That could be the one that sees their first loss of the group stage so far. And to see Spain go off blitzing with 5 games played and 5 games won in a group of 4. They will be guaranteed qualification in that first seed, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's going to be anything that France would be able to do to stop it past that, unless maybe some differentials went crazy, but differentials have also heavily favoured Spain so far. And it's only going to go down here for France. 91st minute, this game essentially over, but France looking for some consolation. If that goal difference does become an important factor later, they'll be happy to get something out of this, but they will not. One final corner kick. It's going to be an in-swing at No Olympicos. Surely going to be a play for front post, looking to get it long, catched by the goalkeeper. And Spain will take the first victory of the day. And that was an absolute treat. We finally got some gameplay here for PFL. And I am very impressed with what we got to see. Really strong there from France in certain moments. But ultimately, Spain and that fantastic start they were able to get for themselves. 1 goal just before the first whistle was blown, and a second goal just before the half-time one was blown as well, was simply enough to take them down, even managing to keep those sheets clean. just solid through and through. And well, with that match over, we do look ahead to the next matchup that will be played today. It is going to be Poland versus Portugal, and we will have a look at how their group tables are looking right now. They will be sitting in Group C, first versus second. It's an absolute dream here for the neutrals. And as you can see, records rather similar as well when you actually look at the nitty-gritty of those games. It's 6 points for both of them. 2 games played, 2 games won. But I believe there might have been a little bit more that has not yet been reported on the website, because I have heard that this perhaps might be a second leg. Portugal won 1-0 in that first leg, so there really is a rivalry here, and 1-0. Certainly not much to differentiate these two teams. So if that's true, by the way, Portugal sitting on 9 points, and Poland would be sitting on 6, both with 3 games played. So that leaves an invincible Portugal so far on a winning streak, with 10 goals for them as well so far. It would actually be 11 total if we include that 1-0, which hadn't been reported on the system yet. And well, as for the matchup, only one of these teams, I believe, has actually reported their line. Oh, I lie. That has changed. That has changed. We actually have had a reporting of the team. So let me just add that to the overlay, and we will be back and ready for the action to get itself off to a swift start. Game 3, Team 2. There we go. Let's look at our lineups. Gonna have to unhide it. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves our 2 teams. Poland versus Portugal. Poland sitting with Bartix in between the sticks. Jotka, Ailon and Seba completing that defense with Buski, Varmi, Weiss, Ipirug and Wojo holding down that midfield in what will be a single pivot alongside 2 central midfielders and 2 wider midfielders, followed of course by a typical 2-man strike force of Natsu and Joker. 3-1-4-2 being the exact same formation held on the other side. We've got another mirror matchup of 3-1-4-2s today. It's Mentz in the net, Hughes, Gonzalo and Breccia holding down the defence. Danny Quintans, Taziek, Braga, Nayshaw and Creativo 10 looking to slot all the passes together to find their striker duoship of Deuce Leo and Luca number 1. We'll see by the end of today if he will be able to hold that number 1 spot. 1-0 is said in the leg so far. This will be a continuation. So we will have to see how this one plays out. Going to be waiting for the players to reach the pitch as per usual. I am just having a look here. I have got Luca number 1's stream open right now. Let's see if we've got any other streams we can tune into as well. They're waiting on 1 Poland player, apparently. That is completely fine by me, ladies and gentlemen. But I will still open up a Poland stream just so we can get an idea of some of the action. He's not streaming. Awesome. Well, Luca number 1 will definitely be where we will be looking for today. This is going to be, I believe, the last game of the day. Don't think there is going to be any replacements, of course, because we are also running a little bit behind, just a little bit, but I've still enjoyed myself, and I hope you guys have as well. I'll tell you what, the one game that we did manage to cover, that Spain versus France, was a great showing of just what some of the very best 11v11 national teams are capable of. Spain looked so strong quick out the gates. They needed no time to warm up, and it felt like, if anything, it caught their opponents a little bit off guard there. Let me know that if you can hear the fan. It is a little bit hot, I will say, over here in the UK. And I need absolutely everything I can get to get me going, especially because this action too good. It's getting me all hot and sweaty. I don't know if I can go on much longer. Just kidding. we will be sticking around. We will be here till the very, very end. All players of Portugal are in their Discord server. They're already in chat. I can tell you that for free here. Ready to get their game underway. But yes, Poland's going to be the one we're looking for. And yeah, still waiting a lot here for Poland. So I believe we are actually going to go on a quick BRB screen until that changes. Only because we don't even have a stream from the Polish perspective. So we actually have no idea how many people we are waiting for. And if they're all in lobby and ready, or if they're all just in a Discord call. So, going to be a short BRB, we hope, ladies and gentlemen, but we will be right back, as it says.
Conmigo no juegues, no soy un juguete que usa cuando quiere. A eso no le doy, 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 no Todo pendiente de mí en el party. Me miran bailando y se le pone nari. Con mi movimiento de safari. Todo pendiente de mí en el party. Y tú sabes, no pierdas el tiempo. Dale, vente, pégate lento. Bueno, dale, no pierdas el tiempo. Esta noche me puse a eso no le doy. A eso no le doy. A eso no le doy. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz. A usted no le doy luz, 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 luz. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz. A usted no le doy luz, 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 luz.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with some PFL action. We have got France versus Spain again. They're going to play their second leg because Poland and Portugal, we just could not get it started in time. So we've got this underway. It's going to be the second leg after, of course, Spain were able to get themselves off to a 2-0 start. And it looks like they're going for a rather similar match. Already a goal in this second match in the first 20 minutes, probably the first 10. We were just about unable to catch it. There were ads running on the channel as well, so it wasn't completely my fault. But cross coming in, Aerial Plus being able to prevent. Simmer found Panzer, and Zeko does well to beat two players with one move there. But ultimately that third was going to be a little bit too much for him. Still, clearance coming out, and ultimately it is going to be a goal kick. And, well, France put it all together. 3-0 down against this Spanish side. It has been dominance from them in this group to not face a single loss. And to be able to do that so far to the current second best team is nothing short of insanity. Long ball plus. Free kill wanted that play at the back of the box, but blocked well by Spanish players. Still looking to cover those very same passing lanes. The very same players. They can see their danger man. Just shut him down. And you might be able to get your extra show in here. Goal difference so widely in favour of Spain. France looking to put a dent in it. Stopped on the final line there by a Spanish defender. Sly tackle. Gotta be too much. Capone does well to block, and it feels like same old France here. Especially in the second half of that first leg where, despite having all that offence, once it comes to that killer pass, that final ball inside, the pulling of the trigger, they just can't go the full distance. Spain already have that one player just perfectly positioned to just get the slightest of touches for a clearance or for a turnover in possession. And it must be so frustrating to play against when your France tries your like, finding a bit more of those dribbles, which I did call for in that first match. That seems essentially completely absent. Showing off a bit more this time, but still some decision making needs to be made about when to offload that ball. Creating yourself as an option without having everyone coming short. That was another point of note from the first match they played. Not enough options in the box. So many up close, and ultimately they're just at a standstill. One through ball. All it takes for France to go down by a second goal. You just can't stop them. Spain have done it again. A second goal just shy of half-time. A first goal within the first 10 in-game minutes. Deja vu. Certainly a feeling of all the viewers of this stream. And they can feel that pit in their stomach. France were off to a better start. It wasn't that what must have felt like 80% possession for Spain in half one of the first match. But it might as well be. These counterattacks are just as strong, and it's so tough to beat a team that just feels three-pronged completely. An amazing midfield. Able to find themselves high and deep on the pitch. Good on the counter. Good when they're in possession when it comes to their build-up play. How do you stop them? Try and make it scrappy, they'll out-scrap you. Tough end of half. Lot of work to be done again from France, and I feel like that job load has only gotten larger. 4-0 on aggregates. If we're going to combine the two matches they've played. Spain continue to make rather light work, although they've had to work that extra bit harder in this second match. That's made no differences to the score sheets. The only stat, the only struggle that really matters. And it's been stronger by the French goalkeeper, who you definitely could have thrown a few questions towards. In the first match that they played, some of those infield passes seemed a little bit miscommunicated with the defenders. However, he's gotten better as the day has gone on, but Spain have just been there to match him. Go up a gear. Spain will go up 2 in response. Second half awaits. The final half of this two-legged system between France and Spain. France with all the scores in the world to settle. Of course, you only need to be top 2 in your group to progress to the playoff stage. And it certainly feels like they won't be taking that top spot. But Spain might have something to nab away from them. Oh, big slide tackle coming through. And hopefully that player is not injured. We'll be able to keep on playing. Yellow cards going out there to Alvaro. Gonna have to be a little bit more careful for the rest of the game. As much as it feels like you've got this in the bag, a red card could be that difference that France have been looking for. Alvaro is going to be one of the midfielders of Spain that you desperately want to keep on the pitch. Absco, so many options inside, but there are red shirts as well! Freaky muscles his man off! And I thought surely that defender was going to be enough. Heartbreaking! Position perfectly. Read their play. Feel like you've got every single option covered. But an extra bit of strength, a shove was all it took. And another goal will follow, and all of a sudden, France are equal. You can never drop the ball. Never drop the ball in FC 25. Spain will be looking to respond. They will not let themselves go down this quickly. An incredible run of play. An instant improvement from the France team we have seen for 3 halves of FC 25. Capone. Oh, wanted that pinged pass forward. Blocked off well from Spain, but now with all momentum against them, you don't see them as those big bad wolves that you have done for the rest of the day. It's up to France to blow that house down. And they always did with a third. But it will go out for a goal kick. Spain looking for that build-up. A little bit of muscle there from defence. Brunks opens up his own space. Prevents those quick counters that we know Spain can bring against you. Here's an example. Simmer with a back heel. Lobbed ball inside. There is 2 Spanish options, but neither one of them ends up connecting. A devastator for that specific attack of Spain. Their winning streak looking like it could come to an end, and Spain not looking to halt France's chances, but looking to completely derail them. Now it's looking like that shoe's on the other foot. Invincible streak already broken for one of these teams. Why not the other? And that will be a free kick given away. The reverse elastico wasn't going to be enough to get him out of the referee's books. 20 minutes to go. France have done so well in this game, and you can see that possession stat. 73% to 26. Dominant. Absolutely dominant. However, Spain, you know, they only need one chance. Whether it's really early in a half or super late. One ball inside, dribbles coming in from Adritude. Stopped there by Freaky. Cabonas, despite being off balance, that gold play style certainly coming in clutch to make sure that one comes together. And you can see the build up. Still outnumbered offense to defense. One man pulls the trigger. Not going to be able to break through that red brick wall. Will 2 be enough? Or will 3 be the magic number for one of these teams? What have the FC gods got in store? It would favour the French right now. That's gone through, and there's not enough power behind the shots. Double tap triangle. Snuck its way over that first defender. And that's a big intercept. Polgish is there last. It's a goal. And that's not how you expected to see Spain drop. The defense that I've sung the praises of again and again and again. With one crucial mistake in the dying minutes of this second leg. France aren't just looking to win this game. They're looking to equal through aggregate with one more. This is on the cards. Polgish, the goal scorer, the hero of this game. Available in field, ping-ponging again. You can't see through the chaos. Spain just got to hit it home. No nonsense, and somehow the linesman has found an offside there. The goalkeeper's coming close to his man. Sure, whispering him sweet nothings. Sim up. Ends up finding that right wing. Build up is good. Spain need one more chance, but that's heavy touches coming after those step overs. Ultimately able to keep the ball between his feet, but he's going to be closer to that corner. Sidelines acting as extra defenders spilled out from that French defender, and you saw the goalkeeper commit. And for a second there, you were concerned to not see in the safety of his hands. Oh, a lovely slide tackle by Kano. Freaky to Polgish. 3 men around. And he had a teammate as an option down the line. Instead, he's going to walk that one off for a Spanish throw-in. Final minute. And I feel like there actually might be, who knows, 3 or 4 minutes of extra time with how much action we've seen in this second half. Polgish. This time completely alone. Still weaves his way through. Aerial plus to try and lay off to his partnership. Doesn't go through in 2 minutes. As harsh coming from FC. And France, are they just going to pass it around the back? The game is over. Able to grab themselves a victory in that second match when all looked lost. 3 goals in the second half. An insane comeback shown by Les Bleus. And that Spanish team that looked completely unstoppable bled in just 45 minutes of gameplay. Mustn't forget the first half was very much still all theirs. Polga will take home your man of the match. Grabbing that winner. Also being the host of this POV. Congratulations to him. Fair play to France. And this is going to be a rivalry that I hope we see continue to the playoffs. Oh my goodness. Listen, we might have been waiting for quite some time for some of the action today, okay? We had some full starts, especially with that first match we wanted to watch with PFL Finland. playing against, I believe it was Germany. We couldn't get that one underway, unfortunately. And same for actually Poland versus Portugal. But I tell you what, Spain versus France, being the only match of the day, certainly delivered. Gave us, it felt like 3 matches worth of action in only 2. And we joined that second one a little bit late. We missed an entire goal because of that. But the group stages have not yet come to an end. If you want a little bit of a refresher of how they were looking before the day, there you go. What is to add, of course, is the win for France and the win for Spain, and some other matches which simply have not been played yet. There was also, I believe, Portugal getting a 1-0 versus Poland that we were not able to see on the broadcast. But we will be back next Saturday for some more PFL action. I'm glad that you enjoyed the 11v11 Pro Club stream. We will see you all on the next broadcast. Join the Discord to stay updated.